I think it's so bizarre to respawn. I think humans probably respawn.
We respawn? What, do you believe in like a reincarnation now or what?
I
Souls?
always believed in reincarnation.
What the
No, I don't
fuck?
believe in souls.
Okay,
I
if you
believe
don't
in
believe in souls,
reincarnation. I
then
don't
how do
believe.
you reincarnate? What goes into the other body if it's
Well,
not
the
the
thing is,
soul?
I think that humans are an amalgamation of different elements from the periodic table,
Sure.
and so this structure that makes me will eventually be like soak up into the soil, and then the soil will fertilize the plant, and the
Okay.
plant will give birth to fruits, and then the fruits will be eaten by bugs, and then bugs will be eaten by, circle of life. And
Yeah, but that's
eventually,
not reincarnation. Everyone believes in this. You're not gonna find one person that disagrees with you on that in the entire world. It's not even like reincarnation
that's
is
true.
your exist like yourself is gonna be reincarnated into something else. That's not reincarnated.
Well, I think your conscious will just wake up. I think when you die, you're just going to wake up again.
Where?
Because not the same consciousness, but you're just, I mean, the fact that we are the universe, right? We're just nodes. We're just different nodes, like different
What?
spots.
How are you gonna wake up again?
What do you,
Wake up in how? What way?
I'm not going to wake up as me. I'm going to wake up as something else. I
Then that's
mean,
not
the
you.
thing
You're
is
not. Then
okay.
you're not gonna wake up. Something else is gonna wake up. What the fuck? I'm not gonna wake up as me. Then you don't wake
Listen,
up.
yeah, I don't wake up as me. No, my point is, okay, the amalgamation of elements that make up my brain, right? The
Yeah.
carbon, right? All of those elements were at the beginning of the universe, right? At one point, it was at the core of a star. Never did a fucking particle. They don't think, but I'm saying like in a anthropomorphic way, metaphorical way. Like they would never fucking think they would be conscious, or at least exhibiting an expression, a phenomenon of consciousness.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that one day we will die, right? Which is like the best example is like a wave in the ocean. Like that wave is a part of the ocean, right? It makes up the ocean, but it's a phenomenon that happens from the ocean, right? Eventually those specific particles are going to be bunched up with all the other particles. Will they ever become a wave again, like reach a shore and go back to the shore and become a wave at the same amount of particles, like the same exact ones, as an accumulation together? Probably not, but if we're talking about infinity, which I don't know about infinity, it probably would pop up back, and it would pop up again. The same accumulation of particles at the same, you know what I mean, as a wave again.
Well, you're the same exact specific particles. Like, come on, man. And even if that would
Infinity,
happen,
infinity.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's say it would happen. Well, first of all, we don't know if we're gonna stay here, if this world is gonna exist for infinity. Second of all, um, the you're just describing science. That's not
Yeah,
reincarnation.
but reincarnation is just a concept.
Reincarnation necessitates the belief in a soul. Be-
Can we look up can we look it
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, reincarnation. It's the belief that the non-physical essence of a living being, such as the soul. Fuck. You know what? I
Exactly.
don't believe in it then.
It's Wait, read the
Yeah,
definition
because I don't believe
again.
in the soul. So reincarnation is the belief that the non-physical essence of a living being, such as the soul or spirit, returns to life in a new physical body after
Yeah,
death.
exactly.
Okay, I don't believe in that. But fuck them. I'll take their fucking word. And give it a
What?
new
Coin a
meaning.
new word. Why the hell do you want to take their word?
Because words change with time, and I feel like that word is very useful for what I'm trying to say, and I just don't
But
like their
but
definition.
the fuck?
No, because if you think about it,
That
the
word
fact that
describes
you do
something that people believe in their religion, you know? You're not, it's not gonna fucking change in meaning unless people stop believing in these things. A lot of religions believe in that.
yeah, but reincarnation is an English word, right? I guess you can find the word, but another language, but it just means rebirth, right? But they can't just take all these fucking words because
They
they fucking need
created
to
them. The
express
person
them.
who created this word is someone who believed in it, probably, or someone who studied it, or someone who thought that it's a concept. You coin words because you're the
But
first
wait,
person to think of it. So you put a
but you
word
think
for
that
it.
all religious, but you're saying that you cannot have religious words become secular words? You don't think religious words
No,
can
they
ever become
can, they
secular?
can. But so religious word can have secular meanings, but
That's what I'm trying to do.
you can try to change that. But what influence do you have to change the entire word for everyone, like to be
No,
written in a...
I don't necessarily need everyone to like to agree with me or believe that, but like the thing is every individual technically does have a different definition for every like most words when they're having a
But
discussion, right?
yeah,
When
but there's an
people
objective
debate the
definition
word
to
God,
words. If you have a wrong definition, then
it's not
that's...
even
Yeah.
it's not even really objective because even when you're using the Oxford Dictionary can differ depending on the times, right? Like what time
Yeah,
you're
at a
living in.
specific time in the present right now, there's a meaning,
That
objective
doesn't make
meaning
it a
for every single word. If you're
yes,
using
but
word in...
objective,
Yeah.
but it's not objective in the sense that
It can be
everybody
changed. It's dynamic, but at a specific moment in time, it is objective.
no, but it's only objective as in this is an agreed upon meaning of the word. But that doesn't mean that individuals have different meaning don't have different meanings for it. The individuals do have different meanings
Sure, they have
for
different...
words.
Sure, in their head, they might perceive this word differently, but if they don't perceive it in the same way that the dictionary perceives it, then they're unequivocally wrong. They're not correct.
It doesn't but it doesn't matter if they're wrong because it's not okay, you can say it's a fact, but it's
Bro,
not a scientific
it's like
fact.
you
So
can't
if
say
they
words
can
don't have meaning. The ability for us to speak is because of the words and
no,
and their meaning.
yeah, but the meaning is given by humans. We give words
Sure, I
meaning.
agree.
So, for instance, so what I'm trying to say is a lot of people debate on the meaning of UFO, right? UFO, most people think it means alien. It doesn't fucking mean alien. There's words that like God. Everyone thinks everyone has a different definition for God. They don't use like the Oxford Dictionary meaning for every single word. Everybody has like a different meaning for certain words. Okay, let me not say all words. For certain words, people have different definitions for them, you know? So when I say reincarnation, I have a different meaning for it. Um, I'm allowed to have that position. I'm not saying it's the agreed upon.
Sure,
I would
sure.
never make the argument.
I,
Yeah.
I agree with you. You're allowed. It's not about being allowed or not. But if you would go right now in a room and you're talking about theology or whatever or philosophy, and you bring reincarnation in that meaning, people are not gonna understand what you're saying, and you're gonna have to clarify and say, okay, when I say reincarnation, I'm talking about this, and they're gonna be like, oh, you mean this? Okay, right? So that's the thing. You never the reason why words are in dictionary is because when someone doesn't understand the word,
Okay. Thank you.
when someone doesn't understand the word, he's gonna look in the dictionary and say, okay, this is the meaning of the word. If all of us are gonna differ on these words, then what's the reason for the dictionary? And why the hell would we have definitions for words? Just anyone says whatever they want.
But
This
okay,
is how we
if you've ever
communicate. We're not gonna be able to
if
communicate.
you've ever if you've ever seen a debate between philosophers,
Semantics are so stupid.
scientists,
Don't bring semantics into the...
and no,
Yeah.
it's not about semantics. It's about the fact that people always debate on the definition of words. It's
Yeah, it's
not like I'm
semantics.
bringing up something. But what I'm trying to say is that the thing is people disagree. That's my point. People disagree. Just
People...
because there's we like what's better, like usually I always think it's better that when people first start a conversation about something, which I should have done, I should have told you a preface that I have a different definition for reincarnation, and I'll tell you what I mean when I say reincarnation. You
People
know what I mean? I should have
disagree on
started
the
off like
fact
that.
that the earth is flat or round. That doesn't mean that they both could be correct. Disagree on something, when there's a definition of something, that means
No,
that
no, but what you just said is you're talking about science. We're not talking about science, we're talking about
we're
words.
talking about a scientific concept. Words, being able to put your thoughts into words, being able to put your thoughts into a material that is understandable. That is science, that is scientific. Now, who decides what a word means? It's the people who coined it and the professionals who studied fucking linguistics, not me and not you. That's the difference.
No, you can change the meaning of a word. People
The
do it all
word
the
changes
time.
naturally
And it can
when
be
it starts being
no,
used in a
bro. There's
specific.
even bro,
Yeah.
rappers have literally created words and they literally gave a word that has a meaning. Like for example, Lil Wayne, there's a word called bling, right? Bling had already existed, right? But when he said bling for swag, like something is cool, he coined that. It's literally in the Oxford Dictionary, the word
Yeah,
bling. It
I
literally
agree.
changed the meaning of a word.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying he has influence, and that word, when the word changes to everyone and a lot of people, a big chunk of people, a substantial chunk of people start using it this way, then that means that we can communicate in this word in this type of way specifically. Then we can
Right,
add this meaning to it. But
right.
you can't just one person say, okay, I want to believe that this word is this. Other person, okay,
Yes,
I
you
believe this word
can.
is this.
Yes,
Okay, I believe, it's a bit.
bro. The thing is you can. The reason why is because if someone gets enough popularity, right, and they can make that word useful, where everybody starts using it, they can actually put that in an Oxford dictionary. That's how words work. If most people start using a word that you decided to give a different definition to, and they start using that word for
I,
the definition that you intended, right, as an individual,
I
then you've
agree.
literally just created a word.
I
That's what
agree.
I'm trying. I'm not trying to do that consciously, but I'm saying I give my definitions for words that I think make more sense to me, and I think it's normal. A lot of people do that. I think a lot of people do that. I don't think it's abnormal.
Okay. Well, the word is means a for me. The word a means is. The word he means she, and the word she means a buffalo. A is buffalo I. What the fuck does that mean? I just coined them.
What did you coin? What word? Which word? Okay.
Like,
I
come
mean,
on,
you said
man.
gib.
There's a
You said,
dictionary.
bro. I'm literally gonna look it up because I think you're tripping, bro.
What? So what I just did is logical, you think?
Okay. Words can I? How do I say this in a objective way that you would find appropriate? Can
Can an
words have
individual change the meaning of a word that has been already coined?
an
Ask this. It is very
individual change the meaning
of a word
of a word
that has already
that
been coined.
has already been coined?
Unless it tells you the person has
I'm
influence,
gonna say
I don't give a
yes.
shit. Unless it tells you that specific person has influence, I don't care about anything it says. The only way I'm accepting a yes is only if the person has influence and a big chunk of people, a substantial chunk of people agree with him. A person alone cannot fucking do that. That's my position.
Oh my god. So it says a single individual cannot permanently change the meaning
Exactly!
of a word
Exactly.
by
Okay.
personal declaration alone. Language doesn't work like a personal dictionary, but an individual
Exactly.
can change the word's meaning if their usage spreads socially and becomes adopted by a community, which I said, bro. I said that
Exactly!
literally
Bro, that's literally what I
verbatim.
fucking said.
But I said that verbatim.
You
I
said you
literally
want to
said that
change the fucking
verbatim.
meaning of reincarnation into
No,
what you
don't
want.
change.
It doesn't work like that. An individual cannot do
No.
that.
Bro, they can if they have enough influence. Yes, they
That's what
can.
I
How?
said.
Okay,
When it comes to the
okay,
rapper,
okay.
you
But
don't.
listen, bro. Before they, you gotta understand when people say words, right? They give a new meaning. It's not like, oh, I have the influence to do that, right? It's they already had a different meaning for the word, right? And the influence of them saying it all the time actually changed the meaning, right? If I'm saying it all the time and then I get influence and people start saying it, that's how it gets changed. But it has to start from an individual saying it that it's not agreed upon. You get what I'm saying? There is a beginning point where people don't know it, right?
Okay. No, not right. Sure, no, I agree. I agree with you. There's a big. Bro, I literally said all this. What the fuck you just said and what the fuck that. You're disagreeing with me on that. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that you can.
No,
That the word can
I
be.
haven't changed my bro. I haven't changed my position.
You haven't changed your position, but you're now agreeing with the result of the question, when the result of the question is
What
exactly
part?
literally what I said.
What part? I already
Entirely.
knew influence plays a role. I already told you that. I already knew
Okay.
that. What are you talking about? I knew influence obviously has to play a role. I mean, if you're talking about the ChatGPT question, when you said it has to have the word influence, yeah, you were right. But I never thought that it didn't have influence. Why would I argue that it doesn't? Like, the thing is, that's not my argument. My argument is an individual and multiple individuals do this. They have their own definition for a word, right? But that doesn't mean that it's a fact. Like, it's
That's
the
what I said.
common
I
meaning.
said someone can have his own definition, but he would be objectively wrong. It wouldn't be a fact. That's what I said.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in the Oxford Dictionary, and
That's
I'm
what I
totally fine with that.
said. That's what I said.
But the thing is, but what my point is what I'm saying. When we're talking about reincarnation, I'm allowed to have my point. That's my whole point. Is that I'm allowed to have this position of like my definition for the word. I'm not saying it's in the Oxford Dictionary.
Bro, a
I'm just
police is not
saying
gonna
I can
fucking
say
come and
that.
knock at your door. Of course you're allowed. It's not like a
Yeah. So
yeah, but
so
it's
then
either
what
you're
is the
right or
point?
wrong. That's the debate I'm having. It's not about whether you can like
Yes,
ability wise or
it's not the Oxford Dictionary's definition. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's not the Oxford
oh,
Dictionary's definition.
I'm saying a word that does not exist in any type of definition is not a word unless a big chunk of group of people would agree on that definition. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I
That's my
mean,
entire
I'm still gonna
position.
say that's fine. I'm still gonna say my definition for reincarnation. You can say it's wrong, but why should I
That you
care?
can have
I
that and
mean,
it's fine and you have the ability to do that. It's just objectively wrong.
okay, that's fine.
That's my opinion.
It literally does nothing to the conversation because at the end of the day, the concept that I'm trying to portray, right? When I say reincarnation, is that you don't come back in the common meaning of reincarnation, like your soul. But I'm saying the literal, like when you say, "Oh, it's just science." Oh, yeah, that everyone agree with that. No, because people are not thinking about it deep enough. You were literally made out of atoms, right? And these atoms were here before you existed. So that means you already existed before, not as an individual, but as if you're talking about as an accumulation of atoms, you were literally existed here, right? And you're going to still exist in the future, right? If it's
Sure.
infinity, if it's not
I
infinity,
don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on any of these points. Of course, your atoms are gonna go into like other places and you're gonna
but the
change it.
reason, but the reason, but the
Yeah.
reason why I use the word reincarnation is because I think it sounds beautiful. Like I'm saying, like the fact that you can think of it like you're coming back to life in another way. You know what I'm saying? It's not you, but you're still coming back. That's why I use the word reincarnation. Maybe people
Sure,
don't like it.
but when I ask you, do you believe in reincarnation? I'm specifically talking about the. That's like saying, do you believe that guns exist? And you're like,
No,
no, I don't believe that guns
no.
exist. I don't believe that guns
Yeah,
exist.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
No,
Wait. Yeah.
I, I
Okay.
conceded to that at the very beginning when I looked up the definition of
Okay. Sure.
reincarnation. Yeah, I shouldn't have said. I should start with this is what I mean by reincarnation. Not I do believe in reincarnation. No, I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm not going to say I believe in reincarnation. I'll just say this is what I think about reincarnation, or what my definition is. Because if we're talking about even the word God, I would change the definition of that word too.
Um. Yeah.
They say God is creator, right? God is the creator. But obviously, the word God has much more definition. Like, it probably has more than one definition. I think one of the definitions that it's a creator, probably in the um, Oxford Dictionary. But I would argue that humans are gods. Like things that can create are like a form
Yeah.
of God.
Again, the
I guess
definition
like
of the word is not. But I get you. I get you.
yeah, bro. I like these words, but I don't like
But why do you
the
like a
meaning of
word
them.
that is? Why don't you use a word that is fit to the place? You know what I mean? Why do you like the words that are not fit and you want to
Because
change
it
them
doesn't
into?
because
Huh?
it doesn't truly convey what I'm trying to say. Because those words actually have a lot of power. They're very good words. Don't have to throw it
They are
away.
good
You
words
still
because
use
they're
it.
what they are. When you change their meaning and you make them what they're not gonna be powerful words.
They can still be what? They can still be powerful words if people like the way you define it.
When you say humans are
Like if some,
God, okay, then everyone's God. Then what the fuck? Why the hell would I put respect on a God? You know, the only reason why you're saying, oh, it's a powerful word because God is powerful. God is one. God is, you know what I mean? That's why. But if you remove that aspect from him and like everyone's God, then where's the powerfulness in that, or where's the power in
well,
that?
at least, well, I didn't know that some people think like this, but because I've
Why
heard
is it
it, because I
powerful?
told somebody this. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
At least if we're talking about in the reference to the Christian God, I think the Bible is an interpretation of the individual, and that the individual is God. So the Old Testament is um, like people who are ignorant, right? And they're vengeful and they do things stupid, right? And then
yeah,
God brought down His only Son to die, right? And for all his sins, right? I feel like that's an example of humans, right? Um, like there's a humanity to us that's not animalistic, right? Like an animalistic side, and we have to find forgiveness in ourselves to be able to move forward. And I think we have to realize that there's a better version of us, and that's why I feel like a lot of rappers, they put on like a character, or actors in movies, they put on a character that's not actually them, that they portray to other people, because it's a way of them releasing responsibility, and being able to allow themselves to be someone else for a time being, to for utility or whatever. And I think
hmm,
that in the case of the Bible, I feel like, I don't know, it just makes sense to me that we are God, like in the sense that like we should surrender to our higher self. There's a higher version of ourselves. Like in the higher version of ourselves is a concept of everything you've ever dreamed that you ever wanted, you can reach that. Like you can be as healthy as possible, and that would be like God, like the God version of you. But for you to be that God, you have to have discipline, right? You have to let go of hedonistic things. There's so many things that are required for you to reach the God version of you, that it's almost like the human side of you, right? Like the Jesus side of you and like the God side of you. And I feel like, I don't know, there's a this is how it makes sense to me. That I'm like, oh shit, as a philosophical concept, the Bible's fire. Because in that way, it sounds like relatable, like, oh, we're God, we're the devil, like we're playing with those themes of the different sides of humanity,
sure.
if that makes sense. Now, is that a fact? No, it's not.